Alright guys, so before we get to the video, I'm going to talk to you about FUTTRADING.co.uk. All of you guys will know about this by now. It is the trading site launched by myself and Dan, aka V273, over on Twitch, where we make you guys millions of coins a month. We know FIFA 21 is maybe a month away, but we've opened up the tier 2, which is the higher tier, for pre-orders now. The reason we've done that is because we are limiting the number of tier 2s this year to ensure that our tier 2 subscribers are getting the most out of what they are paying for. As an example, it's £15 for 1 month, £40 for 3 months, which saves you a fiver, £75 for 6 months, which saves you 15 quid, and for the whole of FIFA 21, it is £130. It works out about £11 a month, the same price as the tier 1. This includes buying and selling prices for every single special card on this game. Early game, it will also include all the gold cards that will help you to make coins. Basically buying them with sort of chem styles on them, so shadows, hunters, all that good stuff. It will also include silver prices, icon prices, and the most important feature, which is live filters. These are the best filters on the game at any moment, and they are updated daily. Every single item on that website is updated daily to make sure you guys can trade at any time you wish. So make sure you hit up FUTTRADING.co.uk, get your pre-orders in and start making millions of coins right at the start of FIFA 21. But for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing down below. Clicking the like button, all that good stuff. It's massively, massively appreciated. FIFA 21 is almost upon us. Make sure you check out FUTTRADING.co.uk if you want to make millions of coins over the course of this year. Make sure you join the Discord. We've got loads of people in there. It's absolutely growing every single day as the hype for FIFA 21 continues. Don't forget, click the link down below, come over to Twitter, get involved, and I live stream on Twitch. I should be live streaming as this video goes live. It might be an earlier stream finish today as we sort of chill and build into FIFA 21. But this video is one that I bring out once a year. I brought it out last year. I'm going to bring it out right now. And it is essentially what it's a plea for me every single year. Do not buy FIFA points. And I know some of you will do that, and I don't judge you for the fact that you're buying FIFA points. But I don't think enough people say it, especially content creators within FIFA, about the detrimental impact that FIFA points have. The obvious ones, we go over all the time, things like gambling problems. It leads younger people into gambling earlier on, which is more likely to problem gambling. I think there was a stat I saw in one of my old videos that 40% of problem gamblers now being sort of diagnosed with that, I guess, between the ages of 18 to 25, started off gambling in loot boxes on video games. So it's my yearly plea to not buy FIFA points. Now, I do that bearing in mind that the majority of my income comes in from teaching people to trade on this game and from our website, people subscribing to that website. My income would be hit by that because the reason why people learn to trade is because they don't want to buy FIFA points and they want to basically pay a lot less each month. It's £10 or £15 a month to make millions of coins, more than they make off FIFA points. And so we are the alternative to a degree for FIFA points, to people that don't want to spend that sort of money. So I directly impact my earnings, my income from doing that because it's what I'm known for, it's what I do. But for me, it's more about having these open, honest conversations about how companies, including, or such as EA Sports, including others as well, get away with the ability to charge money to play a game mode. So for example, I'm going to be buying the Ultimate Edition of FIFA because I get it a few days early, then it allows me to trade. It also means I can stream it. I'm paying £90 for that game. It's a lot of money. It's not an insignificant amount of money. £90 is a good chunk of money. For that, I get access to the career mode. I get access to Ultimate Team. I get access to Volta. I don't think anyone really cares about Volta, but either way. But what I do not get access to as a normal consumer is the ability to get the best team possible on Ultimate Team. There was a stat I saw a little while ago that to have one of the best teams possible, like we're talking the most ridiculously meta teams, early on in FIFA, you're looking at 5 figures. And now that is utterly unreal. You need to get very lucky from packs to be able to get the coins you need to have these incredible players on the game. And that's what Ultimate Team really is. It's that ability to grow and develop your team and get to a certain stage. Now, the caveat of that is, if you work hard, play the game out all the time, do loads of stuff on the game and spend all your hours on the game, you can probably grind to a top team. You can probably grind yourself up to a top team. If you know how to trade or you learn how to trade, you can do that. There are alternatives. That much I will give you, there are alternatives. However, the whole game mode in Ultimate Team is based around the fact that it's, I guess, FOMO, fear of missing out. So promos come out, FOMO for promos. Promos come out and it's pack promos 9 times out of 10. So it's go out, open up all these packs and try and pack one of these special promo players. We will start with ones to watch this year and likely then to Ultimate Scream. And people will buy into it because it is FOMO. The other thing about it as well, obviously players have higher ratings. People want the Ronaldos, the Messis, the Neymars and whatnot. So people will inevitably look at those FIFA points and think, well, that could be an easy way to improve my team and boost my team. And I'm going to be blunt here, the only real winners are EA. In the same way that we talk about gambling in real life and everyone says the only real winners are the bookies, it is the same for EA. They're making loads of money out of us. And I'm going to show you in 2 seconds' time the sort of stats we are talking about with regards to Ultimate Team and EA's revenue, to get an idea of the scale that Ultimate Team does provide and why, for me, the game isn't value for money as it is, and why you guys should not spend money on FIFA points. So I will be right back. Alright guys, so what you're looking at right here is a breakdown of essentially EA's net revenue from Ultimate Team each year. So in 2015 it made $587 million, in 2016 $660 million, 2017 $775 million, 2018 $1.18 billion, 2019 $1.37 billion, and then in 2020 $1.49 billion. That is $1.5 billion that Ultimate Team in FIFA, I believe it's FIFA, maybe some for Madden as well, but it hasn't got the hype that FIFA has, the Ultimate Team makes for EA Sports each year. To give you an idea of that, that is more than a quarter of EA Sports, in fact EA's full stop, total revenue for a year. Just from that one game mode within a game. Now, I could buy and I could understand if that sort of money was being made and the game was being improved each year and there was a viable alternative to that on the game, such as grinding towards players. There's nowhere near enough of that, but I'll talk about that in a second. But there isn't really. Let's be honest. There isn't really. Everything around Ultimate Team is geared towards encouraging people to spend their actual real money on in-game items. Now, if you want to do that, like I've said, it's your choice. I plead with people not to do it and say don't do it. But the biggest bugbear that I have with this is that game last year, so for year end in 2020, $1.5 billion. And what we were left with was the state that was FIFA 20. Now, I'm willing to give 21 the benefit of the doubt and see what happens when it comes out. I'm not one of those guys that goes, 21 will be terrible because 20 was terrible. But 19 was iffy at best. 2020, FIFA 2020 was awful. It was probably the worst FIFA, in my opinion, they've ever brought out. And moreover than that last year, the contempt that they sort of treated us consumers with was utterly disgusting. So we lost the community managers because the community managers didn't know what being a community manager meant. Basically, it meant engaging with the community. And sometimes you'll get praise for something that's brilliant. Other times you're going to get people being very angry about something that isn't good enough. Unfortunately, that's your job. You're a community manager. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, I will never, ever condone threats of violence, like name calling and stuff like that. I don't really like that too much. But I will say people have a right to be angry when they're buying a game, they're spending money on a game, and actively encouraged to spend money on that game, and the community managers basically only come out of the woodwork. So Jamie FUTTRADING, for example, who does a lot of the content stuff in game, you never hear from him until there's something to be praised. Then he pops up on Twitter and it's like, oh yeah, I'm great. Zaro, I've got more time for. Zaro, I think, tries his hardest, tries to do well. I think he does genuinely care about the community, but I just think sometimes it gets lost in certain tweets. The one that I'm not going to lie to you that I have no idea how he ever became a community manager was Corey Andreas. I think that's how you pronounce Corey Andreas. He was diabolical. There's no point me saying it any other way. He was a terrible community manager. His attitude stunk. The way he spoke to the community stunk. I saw him post an Instagram post talking about all the money he's got or whatever it is recently in sort of relation to criticism he'd been given. But I have heard from people that he is no longer at EA. He's no longer a community manager for FIFA, which I think is a massive step forward for EA. If they've got rid of him if he's left, I think it's a huge step forward either way. But what we were left with was the FIFA direct communications, which never gave us any sort of direct communication whatsoever. There'd be a problem on the game, we'd sort of hear about it 10 hours later, or we're trying to fix this problem. But more than anything, the game itself was just a state. The numerous errors on that game, the promos themselves were bombarded continually with promo, spend your money, spend your money, spend your money. It was an absolute state. And one thing that does give me hope for this year is that there was no demo. And the reason why I think there was no demo is because of COVID. I think certain things were maybe delayed and unable to be done. So rather than releasing a half-baked demo, they said we're going to put all of their efforts into making FIFA 20 the best it can be. FIFA 21, sorry, the best it can be. So that does give me hope. I'm not going to lie, it does give me hope for it. But we've had this sort of hope so often. We've had it with 2020. We thought it was going to be great. 19, everyone was like, the new engine's going to be great, and it just wasn't. And it's just they've been poor. They've been rubbish. But I'm willing to give it the benefit of doubt, like I do say. What you're going to see now is a lot of content creators coming out and spending lots of money on FIFA points, and that's down to them. I don't judge them for that. But a lot of these content creators will be on stream, spending money on FIFA points, spending money on the game, trying to open packs, and it's going to be very, very, very tempting to go and do the same thing. EA are hoping you go and do the same thing. They're hoping you watch X content creator, open up 24,000 points worth of FIFA points, and then you guys go, actually, I want some action, and go and load some up yourself. And I just say resist. That's just my opinion. You haven't got to follow it. I'm just a guy on YouTube. It's not that relevant. But resist, in my opinion. Learn to trade. Come and join our Discord. We give out free tips in there. You've got a load of brilliant trading Discords. Fantastic traders on Twitter. Dennis Foote's a brilliant one that I've got a lot of time for. Go and hit up Twitter. Find out about traders. And just, even if you use the free advice to learn yourself, or if you get a paid for service, it's 10, 15, 20 pounds a month, it's still going to save you a lot more money. And the people that run these services, including myself, Dan, anyone else has got one, they genuinely care about the people that subscribe to, and you usually have a direct link to people to say, hey, I've tried this, it's not working, can you help me? People will do that, we do that. It's more of a personal touch to it. But moreover than anything, just play the game. Grind the game out, play matches. Like, obviously learn to trade, like I've said, but play matches, play weekend league. Build your team up, like, organically, and I promise you, it feels so much better to do that than it does to just go and buy those players, get lucky to play. The buzz you get from packing a player is the same buzz you get from winning a bet. I know that. But it's just more of a buzz when you look back at the year of FIFA and go, I didn't spend any FIFA points on this team, and look at the team that I've got. And so for me, again, I've said it and I'll say it again, don't line EA's pockets if they're not willing to give us the right game this year. I'd understand it more, like I said, if the games had been better, then I'd be like, okay, cool, fair enough. But I do just want to show you this. This is Wikipedia. And this is a list of games that came out for EA, right? So we've obviously got a massive gap here because of COVID. So I'm not going to look at that, but I'm going to look at 2019 and give you an idea of 2020. In 2019, these are all the games in 2019 that were released. A similar number probably would have been released this year, but for COVID. In that 2019 and in this year, roughly 28 to 30% of all of EA's revenue came from a game mode within a game. So within FIFA 20, for example, that's where all that money's come from. That is mind-boggling when you think all these games come out, and yet over 30% of EA's revenue comes from us on FIFA. And just ask yourself legitimately, when you go to load up FIFA points this year, say to yourself, am I getting value for money? Am I buying into hype and FOMO? Or do I genuinely believe I want to spend this money? If you've got the money and you want to spend it, I don't judge anyone for doing it. Even if you don't, it's down to you. But ask yourself, when all these games are being released, and that Ultimate Team revenue is paying for all of these games, basically, and EA to keep their heads above water, ask yourself legitimately, do I really want to do this? But that is going to be the end of this video. It is my plea to you guys. Listen to it if you want to listen to it. Don't if you don't. Either way, I will not judge you. But yeah, we are back on the hype for FIFA. FIFA 21, I think early access comes out in a few days' time. Web app releases on Wednesday. And then we're into it hardcore. I'm going to be trying from the beginning of the game to give you guys tips and tricks every single day on how to go out and make coins on the game without spending FIFA points. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. But that is going to be the end of the video. I am out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.